I've had an opportunity to meet a few great people in my life, and they all have had one characteristic in common, which is that they treat everyone the same. Whether it's the janitor or the president of the company, whether it's the president of the United States or someone in a rural slum, they treat them exactly the same. And if a question is asked, they will directly answer that question to the best of their ability. The look in their eyes is exactly the same. And that was certainly true of Dr. Juran. Any question asked was the most important question that could have been asked at that moment as far as Dr. Juran was concerned. And the caring and straightforwardness that he expressed towards every individual made a big impression on us. Of course, his awesome knowledge of the subject, but beyond his awesome knowledge of the subject, the way that he viewed people so optimistically that even the most foolish question was addressed with the greatest desire to transmit what he had learned in his life.
What do you do differently at Next as a result of having been in contact with Dr. Juran that you didn't do back in the days of Apple?
In most companies, if you're new and you ask, why is it done this way? The answer is because that's the way we do it here, or because that's the way it's always been done. And in my opinion, the largest contribution of much of this quality thinking is to approach these ways of doing things, these processes, scientifically, where there is a theory behind why we do them. There is a description of what we do, and most importantly, there is an opportunity to always question what we do. And this is a radically different approach to business processes than the traditional one, because it's always done this way. And that single shift is everything, in my opinion, because in that shift is a tremendous optimistic point of view about the people that work in a company. It says these people are very smart. They're not pawns. They're very smart. And if given the opportunity to change and improve, they will. They will improve the processes if there's a mechanism for it. And that optimistic humanism I find very appealing. And I think we have countless examples that it works. The whole philosophy behind these newer quality approaches is that people shouldn't have to ask management permission to do something that needs to be approved. Authority should be vested in the people doing the work to improve their own processes, to teach them how to measure them, to understand them, and to improve them. And they should not have to ask for permission to improve their processes. So I think a lot of the philosophy behind this quality stuff carries with it a flattening of the traditional hierarchical organization and a distribution of authority to the people who are best in the position to decide what should happen to improve these processes, the people doing the work themselves. And so the permission that's given because of this quality philosophy is the permission to not have to ask permission. I think the thing that strikes me most deeply about Joe Juran is the fact that at his senior age, his mind is as alive as anyone I know. And he has an energy about him that propels him around the globe on planes, to come visit companies like Next, to spend draining days trying to transmit what he's learned his whole life to people. And you ask, why does he do this? And where does he get the energy for it? And there is clearly something in his heart that's propelling him. His pocketbook's not what's propelling him. His heart is propelling him. And I have a very deep respect for that thing in his heart, that he's trying to take everything he's learned in his whole life and teach the next generation before he can no longer do that. And he's flown out here several times, cross country, to try to make Next the kind of company that he would like to see more of. And he will gain nothing from it himself, except to know that his ideas will live on beyond him. And I really respect that. And I found him to be an incredibly warm individual with something big in his heart.